Welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Bubble podcast, diving into another episode on animal safety. Building on our last discussion, we're continuing the animal safety saga. Joining us today is someone who has been trying to make a change for an often neglected section of society: animals. Niharika Rana is the founder of the Cute Paws, a small yet impactful NGO working relentlessly for the welfare of stray animals. So, here's our first question, ma'am. Can you take me back to the time when you first started the Cute Paws? What made you decide that helping animals in need is what you want to do?
So, animals have always held a special place in my heart. Since childhood, I've been this animal lover, be it cows, dogs. So, I started feeding dogs like everybody. I just feed dogs just around my area or just in front of my house. Actually, the that's a very interesting story. However, the exact point when this entire Cute Paws was established. So it was back in pandemic, I think. Before the pandemic, I think few years back in the college. So in the college, we had a project where we had to run a campaign for a month or so long. Where we had to choose any social cause and we had to work towards it. There's a proper campaign, social medias, and everything was covered. So I was already into this animal welfare. I was feeding dogs, rescuing at a very smaller scale in just near my area or the colony in the same. Actually, that was the exact point that triggered me. Why don't we take this to another level? As in, there are a lot of animals out there who need help. And then in even Ghaziabad, there wasn't that facility as well. Like, I heard people, like if there's an animal, like if there's any accident, any sick, they don't even know whom to call. So I think that was the connection that I figured out then. So I started as a college project, but of course the project got over and I continued it. Until date, I have been running it.
That's definitely an admirable story, using your resources and your connections for good. Okay. How do you ensure that the dogs and other animals who are staying at your NGO receive proper medical care and nutrition? Because as you mentioned, most people aren't aware of what they require.
So for initials, as in when I started with joining the community groups. As in first step towards it is creating awareness. More than I would say 80% of people don't even know whom to call, whom to text or whatever. Like many of us want to help an animal, but we don't know how to.
We don't have the
we don't have the resources. That is actually very true. So I started with joining the groups. There it helped me build the visibility. All I was just spreading as awareness, my contacts and everything, that anybody who sees animal in distress, sick or injured animal with accident, they just have to call. So that's how I started the entire process. Then I built a team of volunteers, because obviously working as well, managing a lot of things, and it's not humanly possible for me to be everywhere and every path. So then I started with building up the volunteers group of each area.
So the reach spread.
Then we collaborated with local vets and the shelters which have good facilities, like in Delhi's and Noida's in the other parts of NCR. So as of now, the process is, if anybody sees any animal in distress, they just give us a call, ambulance reaches there, we rescue the dog or any other animal, we keep them in a shelter if required, till the time they are fully recovered, then they are dropped back to their places.
So the shelter is located in Ghaziabad?
So currently I work on a foster basis. Okay. So as in, I have a lot of fosters who keep the dogs, or majorly dogs and cats are the ones which we get calls for. So we have a lot of fosters there in Ghaziabad, and even my house is a foster home.
So if there are any viewers in Delhi NCR and you ever see an animal in need, we'll leave the information below. So
definitely.
How do you personally cope with the emotional aspects of working with animals in need? I'm sure it's not easy to take care of injured animals regularly.
So I would say it's in all ways emotionally and mentally, physically, financially exhaustive. Yes, I would agree to that. But I feel over the years I have kind of developed that comfort zone in this portion. Like this is something which I don't feel it's my work or a responsibility. Something this is something that comes by default within me now. As in, this is something I am meant to be. Maybe this is something I have to do. So I feel that has like it took a lot of like time to develop that. Like the entire day starts at 5, which I was mentioning, and then it ends at 10. There's a feeding drive in the morning. Like I personally, before going to office, I cook meal for over 80-90 dogs. Then I have to drop them off drop the meals and feed the dogs. So I feel over the time it is not at all exhaustive. It just turns out to be your happy place.
Oh, I can definitely relate to animals
So
being
that
my
that's the
comfort
process.
place. Okay, so this is a bit of a technical question. But the fines under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act of 1960 are extremely low, starting at just 10 rupees. What are your thoughts on the current legal framework addressing animal abuse in India?
It's actually very sad and disheartening at the same time. Like, no doubt we are way backwards in terms of laws, particularly in animal welfare. Like, there's miles to go. I think just we haven't even started. As you mentioned, the fines are as low as 10 rupees, 50 rupees. So I personally also am very active in this animal cruelty cases. So we have a cell kind of thing that we have created for cruelty against animals, where we have tied up with some of the advocates who help us legally fight the challenge. But I feel down the line, like even I want to be that advocate towards like standing up for them. So, but I have seen people coming forward, filing the petitions. Like we also do that. So one of the case was like I think petitions also help. Like there was one of this case where there was some cattle shipping. It happened. Well, that was legal. I think it was the state of Rajasthan. I remember. So we started filing petitions, and then it was just in 7 days we got around 2 lakh petitions and mails to the CM.
Wow.
And then they were forced to drop that
Someone
road.
needs to take that first
So it's just
step.
somebody needs to take the step. So one of the part that at Cute Paws, which we are trying to build, is also educational programs towards animals and also the laws regarding it. So yeah, I feel down the line, maybe say a few years after, we see there's a slight hope. We see an improvement towards how people look towards them.
So it all starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, can you share the success story of an animal that has found a loving home through your NGO?
So many of them.
Your favorite, personal favorite?
Personal favorite, I'll tell you. So it's actually, it started on a very sad note, as in near outside my house, just I would say 1 block away on the main road, somebody dumped 5 newborn puppies there. As in they were hardly, I would say, not even 2 days old. Their eyes weren't open, everything. They was just somebody called me ki there are puppies lying out there, and I went, and they were like very tiny small bunch without mother. We obviously, I got them all, like kept at my home. It was like I started the entire process of like feeding with the bottle, the nipples and everything, with the syringe, because they were very tiny. We anyhow, like only 2 of them survived, because without the mother's milk anyways it's difficult. But and even I'm not even sure for how many days they were there. So apparently, yeah, so the 2 of them, like I grew them like my baby, of course, like I fed them everything. So they turned, then there was so the help, my help that used to come to my house, even she was very
Fond of dogs.
she's also an animal lover, and she got a very attached to them. So that journey of finding them on the road, like they were the motherless pups, they were fed through syringe and nipples. Then the help adopted them. So they are the Dholu Bolu is their name.
That's definitely
They
a
are the two
heartwarming
males,
story.
Dholu Bolu, and they're living their great life. They are
Their best
sterilized,
lives.
vaccinated. They are extremely naughty, playful, and they're just we're happy they're in their house. I think
Hi,
that's
Dolu
very-
and Bolu. We hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this question I think a lot of people have been looking forward to. How can we, as students and fellow animal lovers, get involved in the day-to-day workings of the Cute Paws and help make the world a safer place for these animals?
So, if starting for an individual, for any individual, basic how we start with your area. That's the very first basic step. We start with our area, basic feeding the cattle's there, we're feeding the dogs, cows, and just with the feeding. Then the second step would be coming up as in to the society or the groups. So majority of the cases we have RWAs and these small society groups where you take actively part of and it could be being an animal advocate or anything. How from there you can have you can frame the entire process of feeding, helping, vaccinating. So that's one part. Apart from that, so it's not limited to on ground help. It's also way more than that. For example, for us, it's like we have a separate volunteers for the on ground rescues and also to help us expand our reach.
Okay, so
For
social media. and
social
such.
media is one way we have collaborate. We are also like looking for collaborations and all with a lot of organizations, groups. That is one. We organize events.
So more helping hands. as
Yeah.
always.
So it just online, offline both. There's way many ways. So if I have to summarize, it'll be sponsorships and all. It'll be partnerships, tie-ups, event management with the NGOs. It would be the social media handling. It would be the feeding drives. You can actually feed the animals nearby. And it would be, of course, the rescues and all are the best of things where we need a lot of hands.
Lots of hands. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you guys hold donation drives or do you take volunteers as such? What's the process if someone wanted to volunteer?
So we have a volunteer form. It's very simple. You just like a lot of actually school children and the college students come to us for their internship, certificate program. So it's just one factor you need is the compassion towards animal. That's it. That's all you need. Everything is managed. There are a lot of
You need the
Thanks.
love and
That's it.
everything else comes with it.
so you can just drop a text. You want to volunteer. There are n number of things you can help with. I'm sure.
Okay, ma'am, last but not the least, what are your plans for the future, both personally and for the Cute Paws?
So currently, like of course, I'm working. So one main reason of me is also to help out my kids who are totally dependent on me. So if I have to say down the line, say 5-7 years ahead, I would see I want to build a place big enough for all the animals, not restricted to just say cows or dogs. It'll be like I have rescued those monkeys and horses, but I want to build a proper big enough space for any animal in distress, so that
You never have to turn down anyone in need.
yes, because of any bandwidth constraint. So that's definitely one. Second would be educational programs. So that is, I feel, the key and the most important area, because education and animal welfare is something, everything is something that you have to incorporate at grassroots level. So education programs, and then of course, yes, awareness, events and everything, so that we have visibility and we hold a place in the society. So in order to build that even legally, we have to make animal welfare as a subject of matter in the society. So that would be the
So just bring it to the spotlight.
yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am.
Thanks for having
As
me.
an animal
It's-
lover, I was very excited for this interview and it was enriching.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me. It's lovely to see like youngsters taking part in this, and especially for me, it's very like touching as well because I have seen animal welfare struggle from ages. As in, it has never got the spotlight, never been the matter of discussion. So nice to see you guys participating in it. Thanks for having me, guys.